Welcome all to Off the Cuff, and today we will be talking about public speaking and self esteem and tools to make you live a better and a wholesome life. And for that, I do have Abhijeet here with me on Off the Cuff. Welcome, Abhijeet.
Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. Abhijeet is a dynamic program manager at a tech company recognized for his leadership, mentorship, and speaking prowess. Since 2019, he has been an active member of Toastmasters, and his role in Toastmasters District Leadership since 2020 has been pivotal in shaping his career and personal growth. Toastmasters not only honed his public speaking skills but also played a key role in helping him secure his current role as a program manager in 2021. With a remarkable record of over 800 speeches and workshops delivered at various tech companies, Abhijeet is a sought after speaker who has inspired many. His passion for mentorship is evident in over 100 individuals he has guided globally, helping them navigate their career and personal challenges. So, amazing work, Abhijeet. So, tell me, like, a lot of people do know about Toastmasters, but not that much. So, what is this organization, Toastmasters?
The Toastmasters organization was started 100 years ago.
Okay.
This year we are celebrating the 100 years anniversary.
Okay.
So the main focus of Toastmasters is helping people to find their confidence, find their voice so that they can really share what's on their mind.
Okay.
It is a very structured program. We have pathways. As you follow pathways, one project at a time, it helps you, it guides you, it helps you understand how public speaking can be done. So it's a step-by-step process. The more you do it, the better you become. It's all about more stage time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's about repetition and and then honing your skills, I have to say.
Yes.
But yeah, more on that later. But why? What motivated you to join Toastmasters? Yeah.
Definitely. It was 2018. We used to see this poster of Toastmasters in my cafeteria for 3 years.
Okay.
But I never wanted to join. Because it reminded me of the time when I was elected as the president of the Graduate Student Association.
Okay.
And I had to give a speech at a banquet.
Okay.
Somehow I didn't get a chance to prepare for my speech. And my speech was about to start in 5 minutes.
Oh.
I was on the table, getting nervous, sweating profusely. I didn't know what to do. But there was this beer bottle right in front of me. Just before my speech, I just chucked in that beer and got on the stage. To this day, the only thing I remember is the relief sitting down and the thought that I never ever want to do this again in my life.
Okay.
But in 2018, I met this friend. And she started encouraging me, hey, you need to join Toastmasters. It will change your life. Just because of her encouragement, I took that step and I joined my corporate club. And when I joined, the best thing happened to me was I had phenomenal mentors. My first mentor was Dan.
Okay.
He helped me to create a very strong foundation as I start out with. And then after I graduated with him, I got another mentor, Dennis, who really helped me to go into leadership and take that next edge of becoming a speaker.
Okay.
So what I realized in Toastmasters is there are 19 other people in the club who are helping you to become smarter. Not just in public speaking, but in your overall life. And my journey continued. After that, I got another mentor, Pat Johnson, who is my current mentor for the last 3 years. She helped me to open up my vision. When I started, I had blinders on, so I could not. I could only see in front. But she was instrumental in opening that up and building and instilling that confidence in me that I can not only just lead my district, but maybe in the future go ahead and make a bigger impact in leadership.
Wow, what a journey! And I think you got great mentors also. That is important because every person is different. Every personality will be different. So it depends who you're getting. Are you comfortable doing that? Because you're already stepping out of your comfort zone. And to get mentors like you did, I think that also helps, I have to say. So, but Abhijeet, what is the core at the core of TM's educational program?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So what happens is their core educational program is called as pathways. There are different paths. There are total 11 paths, and you can choose any path you want. The paths are like, the first one is like presentation mastery.
Okay.
Then there is humor.
Oh.
Then there is leadership development, persuasive speaking, or persuasive innovative planning.
Okay.
And also motivational strategies, strategic relationships. So there are total 11 paths, and each path has nearly 5 levels in it. Total in those 5 levels you have 15 projects.
Okay.
So what happens is Toastmasters gives you an access to this online learning platform where you go and do one project at a time. There is a module which you go through 20 minutes, and then depending upon that requirement of that project, you write your script or a speech.
Okay.
And then what happens is, once you have a mentor, they will review your speech and then they will give you feedback on the content. And my mentor was even better. He said, record the speech and send it to me, so that before you get on the stage, I want to see how you are doing.
Okay.
So this process, doing it consistently, a new project every month, helped me to learn the art of speaking. Initially, what was happening is, when I was speaking, my connection to my thinking brain was not there. I was so nervous that I had to like by heart or memorize my speech. I had to practice it over 35 times.
Wow.
But just doing it consistently again and again and again, slowly and steadily, that connection to my thinking brain started opening up. I could now think on my feet, but it took me like 2.5 years.
Okay.
But just then continuing my journey, what happened was, it helped me to structure the way I'm speaking. The more speeches I gave, the better it became and the faster it became. And after 4 years, like, I can just develop a speech in my head and then give it directly in front of the audience without even writing the speech.
Amazing, amazing. So how can people join Toastmasters? What does it entail? Is there a membership? Can they go through their company, or can they just personally join? How can they,
So there are 2 types of clubs.
Okay.
Community clubs, which exist in every city. Like in the Bay Area, South Bay, from Mountain View till Milpitas and Monterey, Santa Cruz area, we have total 154 clubs right now.
Oh, okay.
So there are corporate clubs associated with the companies, and also there are community clubs. So depending upon your interest, I would encourage you to go and visit these clubs and see which club gels with your personality, and then join that club. There is a membership fee, but it's only $10 per month. It's like 2 Starbucks coffee a month.
I know, yeah. And how often do they meet? Is it online? And what resources can you get from these?
So these clubs vary. Most of them are going into hybrid mode right now.
Okay.
So when you have a hybrid mode, you have the best of both worlds. Sometimes you cannot make it in person, you can go into online on Zoom. And sometimes when you have time and when you are giving a speech, I would encourage you to go in person, because it's very different when you are in person. You are looking at the audience, looking into their eyes, and that time you feel those nerves.
Yes.
And the more you do, the more you calm down.
Yeah. I think that is true. already seen the Zoom fatigue in people, through COVID, and people wanted to get out, and offices also started asking people to come back because that's a different environment, being there in the meeting room with everybody. I think the thinking is different.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
And another thing is the energy which we create when
Yes.
everyone is in the room, it's so different. Like, for example, this Thursday, my friend was sharing one of the hardest things in his life.
Okay.
And the impact which it had on us was very profound. He was sharing something very deep, like he lost his daughter when he was in San Diego, and his pain and how did he get through it. That was so touching. I had my friend who was coming in my club as a guest with me for the first time. He was so touched and was like, wow, this is something I want to be a part of.
Oh, yeah. I think, as humans, in the end, we are social beings. And it's difficult to share your pain, but when you do, it reaches to so many in different levels. So I think if you make safe spaces for people to talk about pain or pleasure or whatever, I think this is commendable, I have to say. Yeah, you were about to say.
Yeah, one thing I want to add is, one thing I learned is everyone has those pain points.
Yes.
We all are humans, we have those. And the more we share, the more we heal and the more we become a wholesome person.
Okay.
And being in Toastmasters, which creates that safe lab, safe environment, it has helped me to heal and become whole.
Because I know when I met you, you did talk about your journey and how you had a low self-esteem, especially about public speaking, and basically, as a person also. And look how far you've come, I'm sure. But another tool that I wanted to talk to you about was that you got into Vipassana yoga and meditation. And that was, I think the journey started into yoga in 2007. And then, later on you. So tell us about that. How did it affect, you balancing between professional excellence and personal well-being?
Definitely. So back in 2007, what was happening is I was trying to get into triathlons. I was living in Ohio,
Okay.
where it snows a lot.
Yeah.
But one thing I realized, if I don't do anything, I will not be able to take care of my health.
Yes.
So I started doing. I didn't know how to swim. I remember when I did my first lap, I was huffing and puffing, and then after one lap, I was just holding on to the wall for my dear life. But as I continued, things started improving. And one day, my friend Paul, he said, "Hey, let's go for yoga."
Okay.
Yoga. I had done that when I was young, but never in US. But he helped me to go to my first ever yoga class.
Okay.
I went to yoga class and I really liked it. And then when I started training for triathlons, I immediately realized that if I want to stay injury free, I need to do yoga.
Okay.
So initially when I started, my just goal was to make sure I stay injury free. But as I started doing that, I could see its impact on my body. But the more I continued, I realized the impact it started having on my mind.
Oh, okay.
So then I realized, oh, yoga is the journey. First it works on your body and then it moves on to your mind. And I continued. I became very regular when I started my current job because they had the yoga class. So I used to do like 3 to 5 times a week. But after 2021, my company just stopped. They said they will stop the classes.
Okay.
But at that moment, there was this colleague of mine, Silly. She said, "Hey, if you teach, I will learn from you." I said, "Okay." And then I started teaching. I felt when I started teaching, that was also a changing moment because when I'm teaching, initially I had to think, oh, what I'm going to do next, what pose I'm going to do. But just letting go of things and letting things just come naturally really helped me. And then after 1.5 years, one of my friend introduced me to my current teacher who is in Bangalore, Indira Chava, and she has been phenomenal.
Okay.
She's so good that I want to be doing yoga with her till the time I can do it.
Okay. Okay, so you really got into it deeply, and you started meditation also, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what happened was in 2017, my company started having meditation classes at work. We used to have Thursday class at 4 p.m. I used to go there, and when I used to go and sit, I should just fall asleep.
Yeah.
I was like falling asleep. I could not stay awake. But having that first exposure was very, very important. In 2018, one of my friends encouraged me. Hey, she said, there is this Mehta family in Santa Clara.
Oh.
They host this group meditation since I think 1991. Go there.
Okay.
So because of that, I took that step and went there. And there they would stay in noble silence for 1 hour.
Wow.
And that time, I felt I was awake. I could stay in silence. That was the next step. But in 2019, my another friend, she said, hey, I think you're ready for it. You need to go for the 10-day Vipassana retreat. And that was the hardest retreat I ever done in my life, because after 4th day, I just wanted to run away from there because I could not talk to anyone. And during the day, everything was good because you are with people, though you are not looking at them,
It's
but
hard.
you have that energy going for you. But what happens is when the meditation is done at 9 o'clock and you come to your room, you don't have dinners. And I didn't want to eat a fruit at 5 o'clock, though it was my first time. The fruit is allowed, but I said I'm not going to do it. But then this monkey mind becomes alive, and that doesn't allow you to sleep. I could not sleep. But during the day, everything is good. The nights were the hardest. But then somehow, I remember my friend had said, if things become tough, just think about 1 minute at a time. Just 1 minute. Don't think about, 6 days are left. How will I do it? No. Just 1 minute and just breathe.
Okay.
After I completed that, I remember when we were coming home, my friend said, hey, in few months, you will be able to do so much that you will not imagine. I was like, what the hell she's saying? But what happened was, once I came back, I started doing my regular meditation. I realized I was doing it every day for nearly a year.
Wow.
And that started giving me that gift of stillness. I now feel that stillness is so important. Stillness is a superpower. And once we have stillness in our life, it helps me to have a very strong focus.
Okay, so what I get from you is that, through meditation and yoga, obviously your health got better physically, but also mentally you improved in your clarity, and you found stillness and focus in whatever you could do, and you kind of tamed the monkey mind that everybody has.
Very true, because now the chatter can still go on. I can hear it, but I can dissociate myself and tell to me, it's not me. It's that experience I'm hearing, that monkey mind.
Yeah, so it comes, I think, through practice. Definitely I have to say. And, you help build leadership skills in employees, like you, said in the bio. So few things you find lacking in good leaders. It's a different question. I put a different, spin to it. But something you feel, because you're kind of, addressing those things that are lacking in somebody who's a great leader. What do you say to them?
One thing I've realized in Toastmasters, it gives you a chance to work on your leadership. It's like a MBA in people management.
Okay.
when you join the club, initially you are just a member, but there is an opportunity for you to become a leader in the club, like becoming an officer. And once you become an officer, you are responsible for those 20 members in the club. How are you going to inspire them? How are you going to motivate them? And that time I had no clue how to do it. But my mentor said, hey, take that time to connect with each and every one.
Okay.
Just take those 10 minutes and you will quickly realize that everyone is different and you have to come up with a different strategies to motivate them, to inspire them to achieve their best. And having that training was very, very helpful. Initially, that training was for only 20 members, but then after 1 year, you graduate. And then my mentor asked me, hey, you are now ready to take that next step. Now you do the same thing for 100 people.
Okay.
How do you do for 100 people? 20 members is easy, you can take that time.
Yeah.
But you change again. You learn the art of motivating 100 people. Because you have the officers of those clubs, you motivate them and they motivate the members. So once you get trained with 100 people, after 1 year, you have a chance to do it for 500 people.
Okay.
So going through these ladders, one step at a time, it helps you understand yourself. And I think the one quality that is very, very important being a leader is having that empathy.
Okay.
Empathy is very, very important. Just when you have that empathy, you are able to create that connection with people, build on those relationships. And when you build on those relationships, then the village is behind you. That propels you further.
Yeah, so a few things like empathy and adaptability, I think, is important if you're, if you want to be a great leader.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And I can add a few more things.
Yes.
One thing is acceptance of yourself. You know what happens is when you're in leadership, sometimes you will get rejected.
Yes.
But initially I used to let it bother me and I used to go down.
Oh.
But then I realized it's okay. I have to go and do the same thing to another person. I can ask them. And it's okay to say no. Then you just move on. And that helped me to not get down on beat myself, but just keep on moving further. Because there is always someone whom I can help or make a difference in their lives.
Yeah. And now talking about, the community we come from, and generally, we do come from a patriarchal society where men are kind of told that, and they are entitled to feel that, okay, they can lead. And they are told to speak loud and be clear. While women are told to, keep your voices down and not talk as much. Because I've grown like that, and I know you must have felt that too. So do you think in this environment that men come out easily saying that they have some sort of a problem, maybe their self-esteem or they're not good speakers? Because I think women are much more open about their flaws and they take a step to improve it, but men, I don't know, because they are conditioned a little differently.
One thing I can tell from my experience is it took me some time to become more vulnerable in front of people.
Okay.
And I felt when my mentor told me, hey, when you become vulnerable, you start on a growth path. And that was the transition point for me. And I've seen many times, not just me, with the people also, it takes time for men sometimes to become vulnerable. And once they become vulnerable, it's a very powerful moment.
I think you said it very well through your own experiences, and time is running out. Anything in the end, I know you did start 10 Toastmasters Club, from AI to holistic harmony to women lead and a lot more. Any one club that you feel you would like to talk about here, and then we'll go.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So this is the one club I want to talk about. The pandemic had started.
Yes.
And one of my friend, Jugnu, he just got married from India, and then his wife came to US.
Okay.
So we had this corporate club, and Junu
Yeah.
reached out to me, hey,
Okay.
can my wife join our corporate club?
Okay.
I said yes.
Hmm.
Means employees and their families and
Hmm.
friends are welcome.
Yeah.
So she joined our club.
Hmm.
Initially she was very quiet, will not say a word.
Okay.
But in 3 months, I saw a profound change in her.
Really?
The way her demeanor changed.
Hmm.
And that inspired me. Hey, I need to start an empowerment club for people so that they can help find their voices.
Hmm.
I was trying to see whom I can collaborate with.
Hmm.
I tried to reach out to a couple of people, but they didn't work. Our ideas didn't match. But then there was this, my colleague at work, Renee Yao. I reached out to her and we kind of matched. And the empowerment club became Woman Lead, where L stands for leadership, E for empowerment, A for advancement, and D for diversity.
Okay.
So we wanted to give this platform where people can really grow and become the leaders they can become, or grow to their fullest potential. I feel everyone has the potential. We just have to work on it and grow towards it.
Yeah, wonderfully said, and especially women in tech, because they are percentage wise they are very less, and especially immigrant women. We also have to think about our appearances. Like you're saying, you have to accept yourself first and be comfortable. Accent, because I did talk to another guest who empowers immigrant women. So he said this. She was saying that there's so much to that we all have to overcome, I have to say. And so I think they can. Where can people go to join these clubs and know more about?
So one thing is just email, or I can tell you the district website, which is www.d101tm.org. Or they can directly email me at joshi22@gmail.com.
Okay. So joshi22@gmail.com. So they can't go to this regular Toastmasters.org and go to.
Yes, they can also go to regular Toastmasters.org and put their zip code, and it shows up all the different clubs in their area.
Much easier, yeah. So
and that website is toastmasters.org.
Okay, yes, Toastmasters.org. It's org.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you, Abhijeet, for coming on Off the Cuff. It was actually wonderful talking to you. The way you're speaking is a delight to listen to. Like you're saying, I can feel the stillness in your around you. So it is wonderful. Hope listeners, you enjoyed this talk and got inspired to look into Toastmasters, or even meditation for that matter, to improve your personal and professional life, I have to say. Thank you. Be well. Bye for now. Thank you, Abhijeet.
Thank you so much.
Shosha is a creative Indian restaurant located in the heart of Silicon Valley. Shosha is a woman-owned business that serves traditional Indian flavors assimilated with molecular gastronomy techniques. The best Indian bar with happy hours in the Bay Area serves handcrafted drinks inspired by flavors from India with modern craft cocktails that are presented in unique ways. Shosha is a modern take on traditional Indian cuisine. We specialize in corporate luncheon, anniversary celebrations, birthday parties, and catering. Do check us out for a memorable modern Indian dining experience. Shosha is located at 141 South Murphy Avenue in Sunnyvale, California.